Hello, friends, and welcome back to a new episode of r/IDontWorkHereLady, and our first story for today, about Karen who didn't want to get on the internet. I got fired, then a job offer, and now an old crazy lady's on the internet. Hey everyone, long-time lurker here, but I finally have a story for you. This story takes place in a grocery store where I recently stopped to pick up a couple of last-minute items for dinner. Personally, I hate shopping, but rarely have to do it because my wife generally doesn't mind. We only needed a few items for dinner, so I agreed to stop by on the way home from work. As I'm browsing for the perfect rice to pair with dinner, this older lady approaches me and our conversation went something like this. Old lady, where's the soy sauce? I need soy sauce. I looked around, and since we were the only two people in the aisle, I realized she was talking to me. Now, normally I have no problem helping people, especially older people, but this lady used such a rude and entitled tone that I wasn't going to have it. Me. Excuse me? Old lady. Soy sauce. Go get me a bottle. Me. I'm sorry, ma'am. I don't work here. Old lady. Yes, you do. Get me a bottle of soy sauce. Me. I don't work here. I don't mind helping you out, but you need to ask nicely. Old lady. Yes, you do. You do work here. Now, please, go get me a bottle of soy sauce before I tell your manager. Me. That was a little better, but I'm still not going to get that for you until you acknowledge that I don't work here and that I'm doing you a favor. Old lady. So you're not going to get it? At this point, I'd picked out some rice that would work for dinner, and I put it in my shopping basket. I looked at my basket, then I looked at her. At this point, I decided, screw this lady. Me. Okay, I'll go get it. Just wait here. I'll be right back. Old lady. Good. I wasn't going to get it. Instead, I went to get the last two items I needed while wondering how long that lady would stand there. To my surprise, she really didn't stand there long. As I was finishing up at the self-checkout, I noticed her at the customer service desk in front of the registers speaking with the manager. This lady was crazy, and I didn't want any of the real employees to get in trouble when I left her hanging in the aisle, so I bagged up my items and wandered over. I was a few steps away when she noticed me. Old lady, pointing at me. There he is. There's the rude employee that wouldn't help me. Manager. He doesn't work here. Old lady. Yes, he does. I want him fired. The manager and I looked at each other. We had a short talk right in front of her. I told him what happened and that I wanted him to know that he didn't have a rude employee. He was very apologetic to me, like it was somehow the company's fault a crazy lady shops there. And then the old lady says to the manager, so are you going to fire him? Manager. I don't know how I would do that. He doesn't work here. Me. You probably just need to look at me and say, you're fired. Manager. But you don't work here. Me. Yeah, but she doesn't know that. Manager looking at me. You're fired. Me. But what about my kids? How am I going to feed the kids? The manager is like, WTF is going on? Manager. You have kids? Me. Yeah, I have kids, and now their dad doesn't have a job and they won't be able to eat. Manager. I didn't know you had kids. Well, we do need help if you want to get started stocking shelves. Now I'm like, WTF is going on? Me. Just kidding. I don't have kids. I was just putting on a show for her. Old lady speaking to me. See? That's what you get. After all this, the lady still thought I worked there. Old lady. How's that make you feel? Maybe you'll try a little harder at your next job. Me. I don't care. I don't even work here. I told you back in the aisle. Manager. Yeah, he doesn't work here. Old lady. Yes, because I just got him fired. Me. No, you didn't. We just did that as a show for you because you're crazy. I work somewhere else. I've never worked here. Old lady. You don't work here. Me. Finally, you get it. Like I've said, I've been a long-time lurker, but knew this was the definition of a story for you all. Me, as I go to leave, I'm going to put you on the internet. I'm guessing something about old people not understanding the internet, but she didn't like that. Old lady. Don't put me on the internet. Manager. Don't put her on the internet. Me. You're crazy, and I'm putting you on the internet. Oh man, you done did it and put her on the internet. You're gonna get fired for sure now. And our next story. Manager, fire this worker. Time to have some fun. On to the story. My niece got a new pet about a month ago from one of her friends, a 5-month-old German Shepherd, and she's the cutest thing ever, IMO. Unfortunately, the friend didn't bring enough food for the puppy, so I went the next day to the hypermarket nearby to buy some for her. I was told she liked a particular brand, so I decided to go inside without a cart or basket just to see if they had it, then go back out for a cart. On my way to the pet food aisle, I heard shouting and yelling from close by, and out of curiosity, I went to check it out. I saw one of the workers and a wild Karen. While she didn't look like a Karen, she sure as hell acted like one, screaming at the poor guy about how incompetent and rude he is and ignoring her when she was trying to get his attention. And of course, she was yelling for a manager. That's when she turned around and locked eyes with me and made a beeline to where I was. Now keep in mind, the worker's uniform is a yellow or light blue shirt with the hypermarket name on it in big letters, and the managers wear full suits. I was wearing black jeans and a dark blue shirt. Also, a majority of the staff were either from India or the Philippines. Now for the cast. OL is obnoxious lady, PW is poor worker, M is manager, and me is yours truly. OL, you, manager, this employee of yours was very rude to me. He ignored me when I was trying to get his attention for 10 minutes and is refusing to help me and yelled at me. I want him fired. The first thought that came to mind was to tell her that I didn't work there. But after seeing the condition PW is in, I decided to have some fun. Now, my English has a good American accent, but I also have a fairly decent Indian accent. So without hesitation, I switched my accent to Indian mode. Me, I'm so sorry, madam. We've had many complaints about this problem worker. Don't worry, I will discipline him. And as a form of apology, please go about your shopping and at the cashier, just give them my name, Roger Patel, and tell them I approved a 40% discount on the total sum for you. Oh well. At least management knows how to treat paying customers. I went to PW, grabbed his arm, and started walking away, berating him along the way until we made a turn and we were out of sight of OL. That's when the PW said, "Am I in trouble?" It seems PW is new and also mistook me for a manager, and he thought he was going to be fired. Poor guy. Me, laughing. I'm not the manager, and you're not in any trouble. I just wanted to get you away from her. And I walked away, waving goodbye at him. I grabbed a card and went on to buy my puppy her chow and some other things for her, some chew toys, a new collar, a leash, and a comfy bed, and some other items for myself. After I grabbed what I needed, I made my way to the cashier. That's when I heard a familiar screaming and yelling, and sure enough, there was OL, arguing with one of the cashiers and an actual manager, trying to convince them that she was allowed a huge discount on all her items, a full cart's worth, while I was laughing on the inside. Then she spotted me, pointed at me, and yelled, "That's him! That's Roger Patel, the manager who approved my discount!" The manager and cashier both looked at me with confusion in their eyes, and the manager said, "Ma'am, this gentleman doesn't work here." "Oh well, yes he does. Why else would he give me the discount? He was even disciplining one of your workers." M and OL made their way to me, and I acted like I didn't know what was going on. M, pointing at OL, "Excuse me, sir, do you know this lady?" Me, switching on my American accent. No, I've never seen this woman before." "Oh well, you're lying. I talked to you about that lazy, rude worker of yours, and you gave the discount as an apology." Me, "Lady, do I look like I work here? I'm a customer just like you." It was at this moment PW walked by. OL pointed at him and said, "There, that's the worker that I complained about to this manager." M called PW over and asked him, "Have you seen this gentleman and this lady before?" PW looked at me and OL and said, "No, sir, I haven't." "Oh well, don't lie. I was talking to you 30 minutes ago when you refused to help me." PW, "Madam, this is the first time I'm seeing you or this gentleman. Maybe you have me confused with another worker." M nodded and told PW to go back to his work, and as PW walked away, he looked at me with a smile and a thumbs up, which no one saw. OL was fuming with a face that was redder than a ripe tomato. I turned to M. "Sir, you're obviously wearing a suit like all the other managers working here, and I'm wearing casual clothes. Who in their right mind would confuse a customer with a worker or manager?" M, in an agreeing nod, "Sorry to disturb you, sir. Have a nice day." I nodded back, paid for my items, and walked away, with OL still screaming and cursing until M ended up calling security to escort her out of the building. And I went home with the puppy chow, the rest of her stuff, and the biggest grin on my face. So, is this why Karens always think people are lying to them? Because in one story, someone actually did. How dare you? And they'll never stop. And our third story of the day. I'm an adult consulting with you, not a child working for you. This was a couple of years ago. I work for an engineering consulting company, and most of our clients are operational mines. My job sometimes involves visiting mines and collecting data or giving the clients recommendations. Another important thing to know is that I look very young. People often assume I'm 5 or 10 years younger than I am, and for some reason, wearing a hard hat and safety glasses makes me look even younger. Also, my hard hat and safety vest have my company's name printed on them. When I was 26, I went on a site visit to a mine. I arrived, went through safety inductions, tied in with my contact, and started doing my job. There was a college intern working at the mine, and his behavior around me the first day was super weird. He accidentally took my radio. He accidentally put on the child lock on the door of the car I was riding in. He accidentally moved my work stuff from one area to another. At one point, he asked me if I wanted to be an engineer, which was confusing, considering I was, at that very moment, working as an engineer at this property. I said something like, well, I'm really liking it so far, so yeah, I think I'll stick with it. Later on that day, one of the HR ladies saw me talking to my contact and said something along the lines of, "Oh, a new baby is here. Stop by my office for your paperwork." I'm obviously very confused and just awkwardly standing there. Suddenly, my contact realizes what's going on and starts laughing and explains. Apparently, the day I arrived was the day some high school, yes, high school interns were also arriving. HR assumed I was one of the interns, and the college intern thought he was hazing a high schooler by messing with me. That was my least favorite job site for a myriad of reasons, but at least I got some laughs out of it. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next video.